Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Sabrina and Titus World. I'm solo right now because I wanted to talk with the wives. I want to talk with the wives, especially those that may be going through a spouse that's, have an illness. This is part 3 of loving your spouse through their illness. The reason I wanted to come and speak with you guys is to let you know that, when you get married, and you stand before God and give your vows and stand before your family and your friends, we never think about the possibility of a spouse getting sick. We never think about it. I know I did. We talking about a man that was extremely healthy, very healthy, very healthy. Didn't deal with no kind of illness, no blood pressure, no diabetes, no nothing. He was a trash truck driver. So, when he took sick, when my husband took sick, when he had those strokes, and because of the bleeding that was on his brain, it caused a lot of damage to the brain. He suffers with short-term memory loss. Now, don't get me wrong, his healing process is definitely taking place, but it is a process. It's not happening overnight. We talking about, it will be 8 years on the 13th of November that my husband took sick. The reason I wanted to talk with the wives is because I know a lot of times, when we get married, a lot of times, especially when you get the church people, I would say, telling you, oh, it's better to get married than to burn with passion. Oh, it's time to get out of fornication. And everything they saying is true. However, we as a wife, as the men, as husbands, have to look at all the possibilities of what may take place after you say I do. When I stood there before God, before some family members, and before a couple friends, and said my vows, for better or for worse, I didn't think, at 23 years old, it's gonna be better. It's gonna be some better or worse days. You're not thinking about that when you plan on getting married, because you thinking about the love you have for one another. You thinking about, oh, I'm about to carry his name. I was one. Oh, I'm about to be the missus. But we don't look at the bigger picture of when you get married. How now you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice. It's not no more of me or no more of mine's or mine. It becomes us. And my husband and I learned that in the beginning of our marriage. We learned how to communicate with one another. If somebody, one of my boys wanted to play ball with my husband, or one of his guys from the church wanted to play ball, he never just said, okay, I'm coming. He was, let me talk to my wife. Vice versa. Anything I do, I always, even now, I always, babe, is it okay? You understand what I'm saying? So, getting back to the illness part, when my husband took sick, it stopped a lot of stuff. It stopped a lot of stuff. Because, again, we're dealing with the brain injury of the situation. So, I will say this. You have some wives out here, and if it's not you, then it's not you. But you do have some wives out here, some females that got married just to get out of fornication. Wrong thing. I'm not telling you it's okay to fornicate. No, it's not. But you don't get married just for to get out, not that being fornication, for the sex reason. I'm going somewhere with this. Because Once you get married, all the love making, the sex you do, that's all well and good because God intended for that, for marriage. But here's the thing. What if your spouse gets sick and can't perform no more? What you gonna do? Is you gonna go outside of your marriage and cheat? Because your spouse, and this is for men or women, but I'm talking to the females. I'm really want to come with the sisters right now. When your spouse cannot perform no more, what do you do? I'm asking these questions, and I need you to start commenting. Comment your question. What would you do if your spouse, your husband, took sick and he can't perform the bed no more? Because guess what? That's what I've been through. That's where I've been. And I will say this. Me and my husband, I would say we got 10 kids. I gave birth to alternate kids. So that shows you that we believe in ministering to each other. Let me do it in an appropriate way. We minister to each other many days and nights and mornings and all that. And it was all fun. But what happens when your spouse can't perform no more? Are you going to throw them away? Are you going to go out there and cheat on them? Are you going to make them feel less than who they are? Sex is great, or if you want to call it love making and all that, because God made it. And He made it for married couples. But guess what? Sex is not everything. It's not. It's not. Because it's going to come a time where either you or your spouse may not be able to perform. That don't give you the reason to divorce them. That don't give you a reason to go out there and cheat. That don't give you the reason to talk against them. But that's to give you the reason to love them even more. Let me tell y'all something. My husband went through hell in his body. First the strokes in 2017 of November. Both strokes. Then 3 seizures back to back to back. Right? Went in the hospital. Spent 1 month and 5 days from November the 13th to December the 14th, 2017. My husband was spent in the hospital. From December the 4th to January the 18th, he spent in the rehab. Happened to learn how to do everything that he once did. I'm his wife, watching my husband go through. Broke my heart. Literally. Seeing my husband suffer the way he suffered, I felt like it was going to take me out of here. Let's fast forward to this year. March the 10th, my husband had a heart attack. A heart attack. Me as his wife, trying to be strong, y'all. I was trying to be so strong. I was trying to be strong for my husband, for my kids. See, I didn't have a lot of people. I had a lot of people around me. I had all the voices, but only had a handful that was truly with me. Let me tell you something. When my husband got sick, I felt like my life was over. I felt like it was over. I did. Because I was so used to my husband coming home from work. And we had a routine, y'all. Let me tell you. Every morning, my husband got up. He worked from Monday through Friday. Trash truck driver. Every morning, I rised up with him at 3 o'clock in the morning. Every single morning. No lie, he'll tell you this. When I rised up, while he would be in there getting ready for work, I'll be down there making my husband breakfast. Packing his lunch. See, this is the life we had before November the 13th, 2017. This was the life we had. Riding around, driving around in our van, holding hands, listening to our Quiet Storm or R&B music, just talking and continue to date one another even while we was married. All of that changed. All of that changed. All of that changed from one day of my husband waking up at 11:30 a.m. Me and my oldest two girls and my baby boy and my baby, our baby at the time was 5 weeks, Trinity. I literally just gave birth to her. When I tell you it, oh my God, what it did to our family, you know, while sitting in the hospital, when my husband went in a coma, crying, not knowing my husband was going to make it through, y'all. The doctors gave up on him. They were saying that the bleeding was so bad and the swelling was pressing against his brain until either they do the surgery and it can kill him, or they don't do the surgery and it can definitely, either if they do the surgery it can kill him, or if they don't do the surgery it definitely won't kill him. So I had some planning to do. I had to sign these papers for my husband to get this surgery done because he ended up going in a coma. I suffered, y'all. I suffered when my husband went in the hospital. Because see, let me say this. Anybody that knows my husband know my husband don't play when it comes down to his wife. Never did. People started coming up against me once my husband got sick because they felt like I ain't have a backup. You know what I'm saying? They felt like, oh, he's not going to know. He's this, he's that. But let me say this. Everybody that did me wrong, I thank you. Because I'm the woman I am today. Because of the lies that was told. Because of the snake stuff that was done to me. But one thing I will say, we never should do people dirty, and we should never kick people when they already down. Because what took place in me and my husband's life can take place in yours. And my question is to you, to whoever, how would you handle it? How would you handle your spouse getting sick and you ain't know how to do anything? Because when I tell you my husband did everything because he chose to do it. My husband worked 8 hours a day. My husband made sure we had food on the table. My husband made sure we had clothes on our back. My husband did everything a husband supposed to have done for his wife. My husband paid all the bills. And when my husband got sick, I had to learn how to pay bills from a sister of mine and one of my cousins. Had to literally teach me how to pay bills. I didn't know anything about that. So I will say this to your wives, and even now to the husbands as well. If it's some husbands out here like my husband, and I know it is because you do still have some good men out here. If it's husbands out here that is working and don't want you to work as a wife, please inform them to show you how to do the things that you may not know, because you just never know when sickness may hit the body. We just never know. My heart was crushed watching my husband go through them strokes and watching his face just swell up. I mean, his face. And I remember that morning as if it was yesterday. Oh, I remember that morning. Him getting up that morning, whenever he was off, because like I said, he was on 2 weeks vacation. Whenever my husband was off work, he always wanted to take the kids to school. He played a big part in that. So he would take them. I was home. Remember, baby was only 5 weeks, and I had a cesarean. So I'm home while he took outside. I remember this day. It was raining. And my husband decided to take our son to school, and he called me. After he dropped our son off, he told our son, "I'll see you later. I love you," which he's always, with our kids, said that after dropping them off. He called me because he know I love my coffee. So my husband went and got my coffee and me 3 packs of cigarettes. And at the time, I was smoking Salem Lights 100s. Not knowing when he got back, not knowing when he got in that house and laid across that bed with me that my husband was about to get sick. Was it signs? It was signs that I ain't paid no attention to, and neither did my husband. For the last 2 weeks before he had the stroke, my husband literally started having these real bad headaches every day. Headaches. He was taking Advils every 6 hours. That headache would come back every 6 hours. Every 6 hours. That was one sign the doctors had told us that he was about to have a stroke. That was one sign. We went to church that Sunday. So crazy, y'all, because we went to church that Sunday. Our baby got dedicated, or should we say Christianly. And when we got home, my husband had cooked dinner. He had made 2 meals. Because when my husband cooked, he ain't like me. Say I cook every day. My husband made 2 different separate meals. Okay, this is for Sunday. We had just got out of church, which was spaghetti. I'll never forget. And then he made us another meal for Monday. Wow. My husband made that meal for us that Monday and couldn't even eat it because my husband ended up getting sick. I want y'all to know that in spite of everything I've been through, I'm still standing. I'm still in my right mind. Oh, I know what the enemy wanted. Oh, I knew. He wanted to destroy me. He wanted to destroy my husband. But baby, it ain't work. No, my husband's not 100%. Because like I said, he had a mild heart attack. Excuse me. March the 10th. Something making my nose itch. March the 10th, he had a mild heart attack. And due to the, he had a lot of closed arteries in his heart. So, with that, they had to put stents in his heart. They had to put, I think it was like 3 stents. And he spent a week in the hospital. And I'm like, here we go again. What's going on, y'all? Why is my husband going through this? Why do we have to go through this? Why this? Why that? Because I had so many people laughing at me, y'all. Laughing, giggling, talking about me. Talking about me. I had some people say, she's only with him for money. Oh, what? Are you retarded? Money? What do I look like? I have almost, listen, I've been with my husband since 87. Add it up. So you telling me since from 1987 to now, I've been with him for money? Like, do that really make sense? Because it don't. It don't. But I want to share with y'all, love on your spouse. Love on them, y'all. Because we never know when it's their last day here. I almost had that testimony. And I'm glad I didn't. Because my husband was on his way out of here. They told me at the hospital, the doctor, that my husband's stroke, you would have thought it was somebody like 70, 80 years old that really dealt with illness. My husband was healthy. He was healthy. I sit back and I think, about everything that happened during the time of my husband's illness when he went in the hospital. I think about the nights that, he didn't have the skull piece in his head. They had to remove it to allow the swelling. I forgot to explain how it was so close up on the brain. So they had to remove the skull piece so it could expand. So it had to happen. It had to happen. And I'm just, I wish my husband can go back to his old self. I do. God knows I do. I miss watching my husband play basketball. I miss, us just driving down the street, just taking trips, all of that we did. And guess what? I had so much fun, and I got so much I could share with you guys. But when I got my husband home, let's go to when I got him home. When I got my husband home from the hospital, I had to make sure he keep that helmet on at all times because he wouldn't hit his head. And like I told y'all in the last video, I also wore a helmet to be my husband's support. I remember the nights where I had to lay my leg and wrap it around him so I can feel him trying to get out of bed, because we didn't want him to fall and hit his head, because then he would have been wrong. I remember the nights I had to, little old me, lift him up to put him in the tub, and to lift him to bring him out of the tub and help wash him. I remember that. I remember having to feed my husband when he came home, when he first came home, because he would just, because of the brain, he would just eat. I remember the days he was in a wheelchair. I remember the holidays, when he got sick on November 13, 2017, it was right before Thanksgiving. We already was planning on having our big Thanksgiving dinner that I do every year. Who would have thought my husband would have been in the hospital for Thanksgiving? Who would have thought my husband would have been in the hospital for Christmas? Who would have thought my husband would have been in the hospital at the age of 48? Because my husband was 48 years old when he had the stroke and went in the hospital, and I was 45. My husband will be 57 the 6th of December, and I literally just turned 53 in September. I had my children there to help me when they can. But me as the wife, I felt all the pressure. I felt the pressure. I felt the hurt. I felt betrayed by God. If I can be honest, I felt betrayed by God, and I'm going to tell you why. I felt like you got all these no good men out here, and you got a lot of them. No good. A whore, running around cheating, fighting on their wives, not doing what they supposed to do for their wives. You got all of this going on, and I felt robbed. I'm not going to lie. I felt robbed because I said my husband was the best, and guess what? He's still the best. But during that time, my husband, like, oh my God, the way he treated me, y'all, I'm not exaggerating. My husband loved me. Like, it was all about my happiness. Everything was about Sabrina's happiness. He put his happiness, he would put his happiness on hold, or put what he need on hold to make sure me and our kids have. Right? I had people that portrayed to be my friends that when my husband got sick, tried to destroy my life, tried to destroy even my husband by trying to have him removed out of my house because we was a squatter, because our home went in foreclosure, because my husband took sick. You understand what I'm saying? The nights I cried, oh God, the nights I cried, the nights I laid in my bed, the nights I was very depressed, the nights I just didn't want to be here no more. I didn't want to be here no more. I just would find myself just laying in the bed all day, not doing anything. I did not do anything. I didn't want to do nothing. I just wanted to stay by myself. I didn't want to really talk, because when I talked to people, they wanted to come as, get it together. You know better than that. God is a healer. God this, God that, God. Throwing it all in my face like I don't know who God is. Because guess what? I know the word. Oh, honey, I know it's the word. Trust and believe me. Sabrina knows the word. So you can't come to me trying to share stuff with me, because I already know it. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what kind of wife I'm supposed to be. The ones that would tell me to get it together. The ones that would tell me to stop crying and put my big panties on. It's the same ones that had a healthy husband laying next to them. I was not trying to hear that at all. And I feel like this, unless you know my story, it's best to keep your mouth shut. But instead, I had people coming up against me. And guess what? It was jealousy. I already knew what it was. Jealousy. It was jealousy. But I'm happy now, y'all. There's nothing nobody can do, say, to destroy my life. Nobody can do anything that will put a frown on my face unless you come after my husband or my kids. Other than that, I'm good on it. I'm just want to share with your wives. Please love your spouse. Through good, love your spouse. Through bad, love your spouse. Through the ugly, love your spouse. And if your husband is not well, have patience, y'all. Have patience. The same way we as a wife will go through watching our husband being sick, what do you think they go through every day? I know my husband. My husband have his days. Well, some days my husband is up, jolly, moving around, sweet thing this and sweet thing next time. He may not want to be bothered. I'm like, hey, babe, oh, yeah, you know. But it's not him, it's the brain injury. And when you know that, you will have more patience. If you ever been sick, if you haven't never been sick, you won't understand what a sick person goes through. You won't understand. So I'm saying all that to say, your wives, love on your husband in spite of his illness. Husbands, love on your wife in spite of their illness. Because guess what? When God take them home, we can cry, we can yell, we can shout, we can scream, we can, oh, I miss you, babe, I love you, I wish you were still, guess what? They ain't hearing none of that. They ain't hearing that. So we have to give our spouse their flowers while they still here to be able to smell them. And we have to continue to encourage them while they're here. Because ain't no need to talk about them all this stuff when they're gone. Because they not going to hear that. Forgiveness. We must forgive. We have to forgive our spouse. We have to. In the beginning of our relationship, not marriage, when we started dating, my husband was a cheater. He was a cheater. And I stayed. Every time he turned around, here come another girl. And another girl. And another girl. And me and his cousin showing up at the door. Cousin throwing bricks through the windows. Yeah. Am I behind money? Listen. Projects. I ain't playing with them projects, y'all. Listen. My husband cousin, God rest her soul, threw a big brick in this girl window because my husband was cheating on me with her. I was 18. Our oldest was about a month old. We go around there. She threw a brick through the window. Child, I was like this with my head up. Listen, call me a coward, call me scary. I don't care. Because guess what? Sabrina was gone. She turned around and I was already at our house because I was already living with my husband. It took years for me to forgive my husband. Even though we got married, I was still dealing with the insecurity and the low self-esteem. So, anyway, where you at? Where you at? Who you at? And all this. My husband like, I love you. I married you. You the one I want. You the one I want. But it took until I was able to love myself and to know where I stand in my marriage and to know who I am as a woman. Because too many females ain't going to be able to touch this. You can say what you want to say about me, but I know me and my husband know me. And guess what? We ain't together because we got kids. We're not together because he can't find somebody else or I can't find nobody else. We are together because we choose to be together. And I am just so grateful for my husband. Shout out to my husband, Mr. Titus Martell Whitehead Sr. I thank my husband every day for being the best father that he could have ever been to our kids. I thank God every day. I thank my husband every day for loving me in a way I deserve to be loved. I thank my husband for giving me 30 years of love, happiness, sadness, frustrated, whatever. I thank God for all of that because I still have my husband, and I'm praying that God give us as long as he can give us to be together, because I enjoy my husband. I enjoy playing with him. I enjoy climbing on him, just walking over, just kissing him, licking his face. Yeah, I still do that. I guess I did that when I was young. I used to lick the salt off my husband's face. Y'all can call me nasty, I don't care. I used to lick the salt off my husband's face. My right hand up the guy. I used to lick the salt off his face when he would come home from playing ball when I was a teenager. I did. I told you I was with my husband since I was 15. But I wanted to come on to share part 3 of loving your spouse through illness. Like I said in the last 2 videos, it's not hard. It's not. It's not. If you really love that man or you really love that woman, you're going to stand by their side and you're going to love them. Because guess what? My husband is healing, even in the mind, in the brain, with the brain injury. He's healing, y'all, because I know how to love my husband correctly. And again, we go through. Child, I caught myself trying to do a prank. I did a prank, and I won't be doing no more pranks. I did one. I put that in the last video with my husband. Now, before the brain injury, I would have most definitely did it. But I did another prank because I was requested, and it didn't go well. So I had to apologize to my husband, and I removed the video because I'm not going to do that to him. But I love my husband, y'all. This ain't no fake. This ain't just for TV or video. This ain't just for no attention. I know some of y'all actually up there. I'm going to eat a lot of stuff out. Y'all going to hear some stuff. Trust me, give me some time, because I'm writing and I want to share some stuff because I want y'all to know what I've been through. I've been through. Listen, I went through as a young girl. I will say this. I'm going to say this. No, I'll say it in the next video. My testimony. I'm not going to say that part. But I went through. I've been through. My husband been through. We both been through. You know, even in our marriage, we had to go and seek counseling. In the beginning of our marriage, the beginning years of our marriage. You know, so like I said, we not perfect. We not perfect. We go through. We have arguments. He get upset with me. I get upset with him. Hey, it's a part of life. It's a part of marriage. You know, it is what it is. But just know that I greatly appreciate my husband, and I thank God for finding it fit to find this man for me, because he knew what I needed and he knew what my husband needed. Because guess what? My husband could have married anybody, but would that anybody still be with that my husband once he got sick? Would they be able to take care of my husband the way I take care of him? Would they be able to set aside everything, put life on hold and everything, to be there when your husband needs you? Would you be able to do that? Because if you're not married, and if you're hearing what I'm saying, and you feel like you won't be able to do it, stay single. Stay single. Because I said it in another video. Marriage is not for the weak. Marriage is not for the weak. It's not. And I do got sense enough to know before somebody say, well, all marriages don't work. You're right. You're right. You're right. And it doesn't mean you're a failure because your marriage didn't work either. Because it could have been a spouse. But what I'm saying is, make sure as a wife, you do your part. Don't worry about what the husband not doing. Because if you love them correctly, they ain't gonna have no choice but to do right. Listen, my husband was a big time hoe, if I can put it out there. I told y'all, he was. My husband this was before we got married. We ain't go through this in our marriage, but this was during our teenager years. But because I learned how to love him correctly. Listen, and even if he's wrong, for a while, throughout in the beginning of my marriage, I would cuss him out, argue him up, throw it at him. Listen, true story. In my younger years in my marriage, I threw phones at him when I got mad, rip pictures up, chase him out the house, all that dumb stuff, all that little young stuff that 23, 24, 25, and 26 years old wives do. But let me tell you something. My husband saw something great in me, and he's held on, and he loved me correctly, and he got Sabrina together, okay? He did. He got me together. Like I said, I'm going to keep saying it. Wives, be to your own husband. Keep the voices away, because you're going to always have somebody negative when they're coming through a monkey wrench in your relationship. But here's where your problem lies at. You telling your business. Stop telling your business. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and go through with my husband and dog him to nobody else, because I ain't going to let you dog him. So I most definitely ain't dogging my man. Hell to the no. I'm good on that. I'm not dogging who God blessed me with. I'm not going to do it. I want to thank y'all. I want to thank all of y'all from the bottom of my heart. Me and my husband would like to thank y'all. Those that subscribe to our channel. Those that hit that bell. Those that comment. Those that share. Those that like. We greatly appreciate y'all for that. We do. We do. And for the haters, the nosy ones that's just creeping and peeping, we thank y'all too. And we hope with y'all snooping around that one video you click on will help you. Because that's what we about. We're going to be doing fun stuff. We're going to be dancing. I'm going to be dancing. We're going to be dancing. We're going to do the singing. We're going to, do different things. And we're going to bring it to the channel so y'all can watch. And we want y'all being a part of our, because y'all became our family, y'all. And again, I want y'all to, I just want to say, welcome to Sabrina and Titus World. We greatly appreciate all y'all supports. We do. We do. We cannot thank y'all guys enough for those that's following our pages, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. We just greatly for y'all. We thankful for y'all. We thank you. We thank you so much. I hope this video will help you guys. I'll be coming on again. I don't know when. It's so crazy. I just be sitting there writing or whatever, or be just sitting there. I would just literally be just sitting there and kept hearing do a video. So I hope what I said help you guys. Those that really pray, continue to pray for my husband and I. I know God gonna take us further up. I know He's gonna do things for us. I don't care what this haters say, but listen, we doing things the way we want to do things. It's time out about trying to please everybody else, especially with me, because I was a pleaser. But guess what, honey? I've been through too much in the last 8 years for me to be trying to be a pleaser to anybody. So Sabrina do what Sabrina want to do, whether y'all like it or not. But again, thank you guys for coming on. I hope y'all have a fantastic Saturday. I pray all is well. Be safe out here. There's so much going on. Be safe. Try to lend a helping hand if possible. Smile. It's okay to smile. You're alive. Smile. Be appreciative. Love on your family. Love on your husband. Love on your kids. Continue to keep them in prayer. Just enjoy your spouse. Enjoy your spouse, y'all. Because guess what? I'm going to enjoy mine. I thank God again for 30 years of marriage. 30 years of marriage, y'all. Wow. Could you believe I could say I've been a wife for 30 years, y'all. 30 years. And we still going strong. So again, thank you guys for coming on. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, share our videos. Y'all can share our videos. Share them. When you do subscribe, I'm asking because we want to get a count. When you do subscribe, please comment on one of my videos letting us know you subscribe. so we can thank you. If you see our video come through, like it. Click on it. Look at it. See what's going on. We want to help y'all. And guess what? This is helping us. This is helping us. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know I don't look like what I've been through. So again, thank you guys. Love you guys. Until next time, peace.